Hold on.
everybody.
Okay, now go ahead.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the 501 Fitness Saturday Tips Day.
Where you get to start your day the 501 way.
There we go. Get our trademark man here. We're going through, you guys saw our post, we're going through a little bit of a booty workout that we put together. Really, we're going to go through the exercises a little bit quick because that's not what we want to focus on today. We want to focus on like how you're doing them, your rep ranges, like why hypertrophy works the way it does. So people are just doing these exercises to do them. We're going to explain how you can do them maybe a little bit better to get more out of them, to get that actual booty gain, as Sean has been showing off lately, is...
But Sean has the worst butt of the three, so it's okay.
Definitely the biggest and most hot.
No.
We talked about marshmallows, Sean. This is not... We'll get into it later. So, we're going to start with the exercise set that we picked out. It's going to be squats, lunges, band work, and some stuff on the floor. And we'll go through why we picked those, what the sets are for them, and go a little bit deeper into like timing, recovery days, that kind of stuff to get, your most out of your booty workout. So starting off with squats. I think squats is just a mandatory thing for any leg day. We have turn around.
Sean, we're trying to look at your butt.
Yeah.
You want to see my face? That's
One,
sad.
unracking forward is just insane. It's not okay. You can get a little picky about your variation of squats. We just want something, get the entire leg working. Getting low, making sure that back stays flat. You can go narrow, you can go wide. This one we didn't really care too much about. You're just getting down low, getting the glutes to expand at the bottom. Open up back here. Getting a few reps in. These guys, we were talking about trying to get between 3 and 5 sets of about 15 reps. The point is that you want to be doing the exercise set for a minimum of 30 seconds, maybe a maximum of a minute. Get the burn on there, work up to a little bit longer, a minute of work. You hurting, Sean? You a little tight today?
Tight.
And he's been warming up for 30 minutes. So again, variation of squats, kind of pick your own. Not a huge deal on that one. Just emphasizing getting low with a good posture is the best way to go.
Big thing is if you're focusing on your booty workouts, make sure that yes, you're engaging your abs the entire way through, but when you get down there, the thing that's propelling you forward is your butt. So you have to squeeze your glutes to get up. That's why I've had a lot of people that I've worked with that just kind of went up. They're using quads and hamstrings, more focusing on their butt to get them up. It's a little discrepancy I found over the years.
Well, and that being said, too, a lot of people, you maybe putting a little too much weight on the bar, too. With these workouts, you want to work pretty light, maybe 60-70% of your normal, maybe like strength workload or your max workload, and getting those good quality reps, spending some time under tension, not overdoing the weight. I'm going to keep saying that because this one is just not about weight, which kind of contradicts both of our lives right now. But it's a different element, and we'll try to portray that. I think we spent most of our talks lately this week on how to portray that the best to you guys so it's understood well. So we'll go through that. Lunges. Again, we talked about like Bulgarians. We talked about like regular lunges. Side lunges. I feel like the glutes activate the most on a standard lunge. You get that back foot up on a Bulgarian, it's quite quad dominant. You're not quite getting that emphasis there. So side lunge, our expert trainer here.
It's an issue today.
Yeah. Side lunges. I still would say maybe just your standard standing lunges. I wouldn't even go with walking lunges because you're trying to drive forward too much. Would probably be the best way to emphasize that booty.
Bulgarian.
Yeah, Bulgarian lunges. Balance.
This one's really bad today.
It's not like you haven't been warming up for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Bulgarians. even some curtsies and stuff just to open up that glute a little bit. You know the curtsies?
I do.
Yeah, I'll do that one, just not scare anybody. So yeah, you're crossing over. I like to try and tell people to get that back knee to the heel. Opens up the sides a little bit more going through there. Any of those, again, you're focusing on reps, quality of rep, lighter weight, more time on tension. Up to a minute of work per set. I don't know, usually I do sets of 20 of these, 10 each leg, and spend some good time on my ascent and descent.
Most people, you don't even need to use weights, I feel like, on lunges. Or if you do, it's maybe a couple of dumbbells, lighter dumbbells.
Yeah, this usually isn't bar work for people. A couple of dumbbells, like you said, kettlebell, whatever. Paint can, I don't care.
A single paint can, sure.
Single paint can, why not? That's like a kettlebell.
It's literally, it's not even a pound.
A paint can?
A paint. Oh, you're talking like a spray paint can.
Why would he be talking about a spray paint can?
It's a rough day, guys, already. Okay.
Did you eat both your burritos or no? You still hungry?
We have a question. Will this help with twerking?
Yes.
Oh, most definitely.
Sean, show us what twerking's all about. I hate everything that we're doing right now.
That's terrible.
That is terrible.
That is awful.
The 501 twerk is definitely not on point.
Can you twerk?
No, I can't twerk. I don't got enough back there to twerk.
I'm gonna practice a little bit.
Please don't.
Anyway.
Yeah, if you want a bigger booty, it's gonna help your twerking eventually.
Just bouncing the giblets around on that.
I think it's just like, you gotta figure out how to move and relax at the same time so everything goes.
Yeah, you just gotta squeeze the butt and then relax it right away.
You know,
So you
I'll
pull it
take,
up and
I'll
then-
take any fitness advice from you two. Twerking advice, not what I'm going to take from you guys.
Hey, there's concepts there.
Dude, I'm like an expert twerker, so.
You know, the things that happen at home. Next one, band work. And we picked out our two favorites, monster walks and side steps. Give Sean two bands so we can really see him burn this morning. So, standard side step. Stand up a little bit taller, Sean. There you go. Just going sideways. Big thing, really try and keep your toes pointed forward. You see people kind of like rotating their feet out, trying to go wide. You're going to get less glute that way. Keep those toes forward. Not too much of a squat. Little bend in both the knees and hips. This one, I think most of us agreed, we like to train this one either for time or distance. So you pick a distance. I don't know, we did ours in the garage here, so it was about 3 laps of 20 feet. So that's what? Oh geez, that's a lot of feet, isn't it? That's 120 feet.
It is.
So, I don't know, we do 3 laps of that, and it gets a really good burn on it. Probably takes us upward of a minute and a half to complete the set. And we're burning. I mean, we're working hard. If things are on fire, that's what you want. It's not supposed to be like, none of these things are supposed to be at first to where you fail at doing it. The first couple of sets, you're going through, you might even think it might be a hair easy. You're like, oh, maybe I should put on some more weight. Wait until you do it a few weeks to where you know by either your 4th or 5th set, you're getting done. You're barely able to complete the final sets. Like the final 2 sets, you're like, ooh, I barely made it. That's perfect. That's a great spot to be at. Because ideally, some of this stuff you want to be able to do a couple times during the week. Like this is not a once per week type thing. You could do this 2 or 3 times. As long as you're not too sore, you're not overworked, hit it a couple times a week. And that'll get you the best growth week per week.
Most volume.
Most volume.
Most voluptuous.
Jesus. I can't spell that. The other band one we like is the monster walk. So you're going forward and backward, nice wide stance, still toes a little bit forward. You're just stepping, keeping that tension on these legs, and just stepping forward. I like those ones just because, go backwards.
We'll go backwards.
Yep, go forwards and backwards. I like these, you just, as you're doing them, you don't get a chance to relax. As you're moving, the tension's always there. And same thing, I like to train these for either distance or time. About a minute of doing it per set, a couple laps in the garage or whatever area you have available to you. Last one for today, We're going to be on the floor for donkey kicks. And what, I think it was dog legs, fire hydrants. There we go, fire hydrants. So I would ditch on one of those, Sean. We understand. You know, you do these without any kind of band, you're going to be like, oh, they're kind of easy. But really, these ones are going to be emphasizing more of the engagement, the squeeze, the hold. Like, really making sure you feel that booty locked in with what you're doing. Go ahead, Sean, take all fours. You winded?
Phrasing.
Huh? What'd you say?
Phrasing.
Oh, epic. Very good. Let's move you ass towards the camera a little bit more. There you go, because you're going to kick the rack. Okay, first one, fire hydrants. Pretty self-explanatory. Kicking this leg out to the side here. Not trying to get too much rotation in the mid-back, but really trying to squeeze the glutes. Hold it up there for a second or two. Like, really make sure you're getting that glute to squeeze and hold. The band just gives you a little bit of tension, trying to draw you back, and you focus on getting this guy to hold. Okay? Second one would be my favorite, the donkey kicks. But let's move this band underneath your knee here. One end of the bands I like to have somebody put their knee on top of because it keeps it in place. Sometimes the band slips as you kick back. But as you're kicking back, you're trying to reach kind of up and back. There you go. Push that heel towards the ceiling. Again, this band is creating some resistance to try and bring that knee back down to the floor.
Make sure when you're using bands that you're not letting your knee or anything slam back to the floor either.
Oh yeah, don't let the knee slam. I do see people do that, and it just makes me feel terrible. But, yeah, so going there, squeezing the reps, getting a couple seconds on these ones. These ones are going to be a little more time on tempo. You want to be nice and slow up, give it a good squeeze at the top, nice and slow down. Nice. Okay, so that is our, I don't know, what we considered an ideal like booty workout. But talking about the reps and sets to get you the most effectiveness on all those, realistically, I mean, this workout shouldn't take more than about 45 minutes, 45, 50 minutes. You want to keep your rest times down under maybe a minute and a half at most, but you really want to try and keep the work going. Keep going through the reps, the exercises. You don't want to take too long of breaks. Like, again, this is just, it's different than strength, it's different than endurance. You got to play for what you want to be doing.
You should be able to do the entire workout, weight-wise, rep-wise, which we'll talk about here in a second. Rest break-wise, should be taking no more than 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So a minute and a half. If you can, get that down even more. It's like a minute. I probably wouldn't go lower than like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
But somewhere 45 seconds to 90 seconds is what your rest breaks are going to be. Now, that's not including necessarily if you start with a squat, you got to de-rack it and everything else, but your rest breaks between your sets of squat. And you can also add these in together. So, like we did the monster walk and the side steps.
Whatever.
Be a hard one to superset, but you could superset those two. And again, you'd want to do your monster walks, take up to 90 seconds, do your side steps.
I would work up to that. If you're going to do this workout, I would work up to supersetting things. First few weeks, maybe even first month, do every exercise individually. Time yourself and get a good mind on for what weight or how many bands or how many steps you should be doing. Then, maybe month 2 or even month 3, you can superset it. Mm-hmm. Add them together, crunch some time, add another band, add a little bit of weight. That shows good progression too. Like, you're getting stronger. You should be growing. I mean, it really should. After a month, you should feel some growth. You should be getting stronger for sure. But be conscious of those reps. Don't overwork yourself. You want to work hard enough to where you're like out of breath, you're fatigued, but you don't want to wake up the next day like just wrecked. Maybe you overdid it a little bit. Because again, ideally, you maybe want to do this 2 or 3 times a week. So if you do it on Monday, skip Tuesday, Wednesday, pick it back up on Thursday, you're good to go. Maybe pick it up again Sunday and do it every other 2-day block. I don't know. You want to hit this more often because as Sean said, you want a higher volume with everything. So more often, not quite as intense. You don't want to wake up just housed every time.
Now, reps and set wise, what are we looking at?
I like, and it kind of depends on the exercise. Squats, I'll go 15 reps, 15 to 20 reps, 3 to 5 sets. So you're looking at a pretty mellow weight, 50, 60% probably of your 1 rep max. And your first couple weeks, even at that weight, you're probably going to be pretty sore. But you're working up to volume, getting used to that weight and moving it more often.
Now, this might have popped up on one of the questions on live or whatever. When was the last time you did 20 reps of anything?
2006.
Okay. So clearly, like Garrett said, our workouts necessarily aren't geared towards that because we're doing more strongman stuff. Yeah. But in this, you are doing very high. I would say any of these that you're doing, 10 reps is your absolute least you should be doing.
Yeah.
You should really try and get near that 15 rep count for each of these. And that's why we're kind of stressing so much, why to keep the weight so low. Yeah. So squats, 3 to 4 sets at 15 to 20.
Yeah.
What's on the next? The lunges, you're doing, again, depending on your space, 50 feet, 100 feet.
That one I'll usually do by reps. I mean, just if we're in the garage, I'm usually doing standing. I'm not doing walking lunges.
Okay.
10 to 20 to 30 reps for both legs. So you're doing 10 to 15 reps per leg, moderate weight, dumbbells. If you have a bar, use a bar. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter the weight. I don't care about that. But trying to get that workload on, trying to get a good pace through it. You're doing your lunges. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. Pace yourself. This is not fast stuff. You want nice tension. The bands, same thing. You want to spend time on them. You want to be under workload for quite a bit. I don't know, were you able to feel the 2 bands right there?
Oh, yeah.
That's where you're going? Okay. Mm-hmm. It won't take much to get this stuff going at first, but if you go through a couple months of it, I mean, you should feel like what you did the first week, you're like, oh, that's easy now. Mm-hmm. Like, it shouldn't be that bad, even though you're doing 20-some reps, you're going to have good progress. If you time yourself right, push yourself in that 70% range, and do it a couple times a week, or get to where you can do it a couple times a week, because I've had people start where once a week is okay, mm-hmm. You get up to doing it 2 or 3 times a week, and that's great volume.
So little disclaimer when doing any kind of glute workout, and even I noticed it a little bit doing it, especially the side walks with the band, because I don't do those too often. If you start feeling this in your lower back, watch out. Okay, so take the weight down, take a second. Usually when you start feeling in your lower back, something's wrong. Most often, you're not engaging your core enough.
That's a great point.
So as I was doing those monster walks, I was really focused on stepping, and then the first time coming back, I started feeling it right up here through the right side of my back, my lower back.
Yep.
So the first thing I did, instead of dropping away everything, I guess introspected a little bit and started tightening my core.
Brace.
Went away. Braced it here.
Yep.
Really put it almost like I cinched a belt right through here, and instantly went away. If you are not bracing through all these exercises, which is actually one of our previous slide videos, we've done a couple of videos, a couple of things on that, because it is so important.
Yeah.
If you're not bracing through these, this is going to cause back pain. It's going to increase lower back pain, especially right now through the pandemic, where a lot of people are working from home and are sitting a lot of the time. You're even more prone to back pain, to lower back pain especially. So make sure you're bracing. Make sure as you're bracing, you're also watching your breathing. It's a lot of stuff that we're throwing at you right now, but I also don't want anybody to go and do these and all of a sudden start having back pain, start having back issues.
Let's go down to like the fire hydrants again and the donkey kicks, and let's exaggerate what that looks like. Like if people are throwing their leg too far. So the fire hydrants, you're going to really get a lot of hip rotation. You're going to really put some strain mid-back. So just let it all go, Sean. There we go. So how he's twisting right through this way. His leg isn't really coming up that far. Like, yes, it's coming up farther than earlier, but because all the movement's coming from here, not from here. So lock it up again, lift that leg.
So the first thing when I lock it up, you're going to notice a lot straighter back.
Brace, can't get those fingers in there, nobody can get to a kidney. There you go. it is not about how high the leg goes. It's about how hard this squeezes and this engages. So some people are more flexible than others. Sean's on the lower end of that flexibility scale.
And donkey kick, same thing.
Same thing.
If I'm trying to reach up all the way, I'm going to just hurt my back. So if I'm coming up here and I'm reaching up to here and twisting.
You get a twist, big arch in here, big no. Lock that in. There you go. Because we put some pressure here. Sean, push my hand up. Ready? Go, push that hand up. Now, when you add tension, either the band, my hand, whatever you use, that's going to want to make this give because those hips are going to compensate. The back or hips are going to want to compensate somewhere. Lock this guy in. Keep your core going the whole time. Okay. Good. Take your time on this, guys. You want to be taking good rest breaks, not too long, working hard, not working too hard. This is such a contradiction in itself. Like, it's just, there's a fine line for everything. You want to work. You don't want to kill yourself. Everybody gets in there. You want to go fail your sets every time. You're going to burn out. You're gonna burn out. Worse off, you might get hurt. We don't want that. I don't know. Everybody in this room has experienced injuries, so shit happens. But try and save yourself from that stuff as best you can. Be honest with yourself. If you're going into a workout, you're like, man, I'm still really sore. Maybe go lighter. Maybe even do something else for that day and come back the next day and try and do that workout. Like, just depends. Read your body, listen to yourself, have good progress, but don't kill it. Like, don't.
And again, we're trying to really work the booty, so really focus on engaging the glutes.
Yeah.
And then just, again, really focus on bracing your core, keeping anything nice and stable through there.
Yep. So, Nick, do we have any other questions for today?
We had a question.
Oh.
Besides gluten, what other muscles are being used for these exercises?
It is a leg day. That's why we have the squats, we have the lunges. So you got quads, hamstrings, a little bit of calves, back. I mean, it's a leg day, but it is a glute focused leg day.
So when I was doing those side walks or even side lunges, anything where you're pushing off from the side, you're focusing on the glutes, but you're also going to feel it through your IT band. Your IT band is going to start getting a little tight, especially if you're doing it where you're feeling the burn in your glutes. Squats, you're going to probably feel it on your quads, right? Even your calves, kind of your tight in your back of the legs.
We don't train a lot of muscle group specific stuff. It is all working together. You just have a little more emphasis on certain things.
Yeah.
Like that's not kind of what we do.
Emphasis on certain things and focusing on squeezing your glutes through this workout.
So you're working everything, but you are trying to get what we talked about to begin with, what you want out of it. Anything else, Mr. Nick?
The next question was, are there workouts that are better to target glutes?
This is what we came up with for one of the better types to do that. There's millions of workouts out there. This is our take on such a thing, with some of our philosophies involved, but still getting people what they want in a glute workout.
Could also add in hip thrusters or a glute bridge. Glute bridge, probably the easier one to look at, is from here, back's flat against the ground. I'm going to lift up my butt, squeeze my butt to bring everything up, and then nice and straight here.
Same thing, keep your brace, don't let your arch back.
That one is good to start off with. As you progress into it, you can take one leg up, focus on one leg pushing everything up. And if that gets easier to the point where you're not feeling it as much, you can also add a little bit of weight. Center it right here, and you push both up. Starting with 2 legs, progressing to 1. That's another really good one. But all the ones that we have in here are specifically targeting hypertrophy or getting your bootylicious butt.
Yeah. The other one too we talked about was thrusters. You could do that off of a bench, dumbbell, bar, kettlebell. It doesn't matter. Sean, what do you want? You sure you don't need weight, Sean? Watch all the accessories.
So if you don't have somebody helping you right here, it's best, actually at first,
I like to sit on the bench.
so on the bench, get yourself situated. You should be able to slide down to the point where your shoulder blades are on the bench. This is in the crook between your hips and my belly. And then straight up. What?
Belly. If you're doing this guy, spend more time at the top. Really feel those glutes tighten up. A lot of people don't go high enough. They get a lot of hamstring, not as much glutes. Fine, I'll take this. He's done with his 3 reps. But I think, there you go. This is our take on a glute leg workout. You go. You lazy bastard.
Thank you.
Take it for what it is, guys. This is what we come up with to get the best out of hypertrophy, focus on the glutes. You can emphasize whatever you want, but it is still that philosophy of time under tension, working it multiple times a week, making sure you're not overworking yourself to something detrimental. So, any other questions, Mr. Nick?
Recommendations of things to do before a leg day to better prepare your muscles.
Reference our warm-up video. Like, I think 2 weeks ago, last month, I don't know.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. That'll be...
Last year.
Hate you so much.
I mean, you guys might not have seen that one because the star of the show wasn't there for that one. I was out of the office, as some would say, so it wasn't as funny or witty, but that's okay.
Oh, geez, we're brilliant. Yes, reference our warm-up video. That covers about everything, all the different types of warm-ups you can do for your body, but it has the leg stuff in there. Again, everybody's a little bit different between foam rolling, riding a bike, little explosive movements.
Just a quick answer to your question, though. For me, the best thing for leg day is doing bike work, so 5 to 15 minutes on the bike, and then doing some foam rolling beforehand.
And I'll do foam rolling in between my warm-up sets. So I'll start with the bar, do about 20 reps, go to a foam roller, do some light movement stuff, and I work my warm-up into getting to my working sets.
If I'm going to squat 400 pounds, I'm going to start with the bar, and then go to 135, and just add a plate until I get to where I want to go.
Yeah, really.
It's a little different for everybody, but...
Yeah, and I usually start with the bar just to get the movement down, because that first movement's never very pretty. So, I think that's pretty good. Any other, Mr. Nick?
The other question we can't really answer. It's how to best modify when you have a old injury.
That get a hold of us. Get a hold of Mr. Nick probably specifically. He could probably help actually talk through that. That's not something we're going to go over through, especially with that kind of vagueness behind it. That will have to be chat with one of us, please. We can probably narrow down something that can be worked. Yeah, please message or Nick's got your information. We'll message you because that stuff is not.
It really depends on the injury and where it's at.
There's so much. Yeah, there's so much to be detailed in right there. We appreciate the questions. Guys, I hope you join us next time. I think we're going to go through a little more of an upper body hypertrophy workout.
Be in 2 weeks on Saturday, where you get to start your day, the 501 day, 501 way. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. You have a great day.